Finally, someone's doing it. Y'all, the DOJ apparently got off their butts and now are actually going after the voter rolls. You know, those pesky voter rolls where all of a sudden mistakes can be made. Yeah, the DOJ just sued 6 more states that need to provide their voter rolls. And guess what? They're all blue ones, because the red ones all gave their voter rolls. Everything's going to be linked in the description box below, guys. This is going to be one you're going to want to send out, because this is a massive development going into 2026 and for our freaking country going forward. If you don't have clean voter rolls, how are you going to know who's voting and who's not, impacting our election and the destination of our country? Good answer. You don't. All right, let's get right into this, guys. You can follow me on X at Braden LOA. Make sure you do that. Join the party. We are building a movement to save our country, and I cannot wait to see you guys here and there, everywhere. All right, let's get into it. Breaking, the DOJ has just sued Democrat states for refusing to allow their voter rolls to be reviewed. This is pretty much an admission that they're hiding fraudulent voters. Compliance is not optional, nor is election integrity, per Assistant Attorney General Harmeet Dillon. We sued Delaware, Maryland, New Mexico, Rhode Island, Washington, and Vermont for failing to comply with our election data demands. Now, you guys, we're going to go through all of this. Here's a couple things up front. The woman you see on the screen right there, Assistant Attorney General Harmeet Dillon, she's been doing pretty good. I'm going to be honest and candid with you. She's been pretty good. She's been pretty good on the Second Amendment front. She's been pretty good on voter front. And she runs the division of the DOJ under the civil rights. Okay. I'm liking me some Harmeet Dillon at the moment. I'm going to be honest with you. And you know my standards. If something good happens, I say it. And if something bad happens, I say it. In this case, this is good, because if you don't have clean voter rolls, what do you have? Going after this is exactly what I voted for. Let me hear you in the comments if you were down with this and you voted for this. Let's keep on going. All right, Harmeet Dillon. This is a clip from John Solomon. Now, he's going to explain a few things. Then I've got a couple documents afterwards, including the actual public affairs notice, along with an article from The Hill, which is going to walk you through the states in question. Because again, the red ones gave their voter roll data, the blue ones didn't. And when I show you what they're hiding behind, oh, it's going to be so obvious. All right, take it away, John Solomon. We've got to get into this right here. It's a great show to start a Friday.
26 states are about to be forced to clean up their voter rolls and take off the non-citizens, the dead people, the triple registrars. The 26th election could be fundamentally different for the Democrats because they won't have dirty voter rolls. That is a Harmeet Dillon success story.
Here's why this is such a big deal. And I'm not going to overtly say that they are going to cheat or they did cheat. I'm not going to say that because that's not what this episode's about. However, what I am going to say, if you're concerned about election integrity, it's a pretty good point to make sure there's no wiggle room for malfeasance to occur should a bad actor decide to do something poor. Because if you don't have those dead names or those old names or those fictitious names or whatever names that you're talking about that shouldn't be on the voter rolls presently there, they can't be accidentally taken advantage of. That's the whole point. There's no reason on God's green earth you would not want to have clean voter registration rolls on either party. If you're gonna lose, fine, you're gonna lose. If you're gonna win, you're gonna win. Let the battlefield of ideas be the main area and arena, not the, hey, is that 1,000 dead people voting? Question mark. This is what was a big point of Trump's election. Clean up the elections. All right, let's keep on going. We're going to look at the public affairs notice, and then I'm going to show you a document from The Hill. This is from the DOJ. Washington. Today, the Justice Department's Civil Rights Division announced it was filing federal lawsuits against 6 states, Delaware, Maryland, New Mexico, Rhode Island, Vermont, and Washington, for failure to produce their statewide voter registration list upon request. Accurate voter rolls are the cornerstone of free and fair elections, and too many states have fallen into a pattern of non-compliance with basic voter roll maintenance, said AG Pam Bondi. The Department of Justice will continue filing proactive election integrity litigation until states comply with basic election safeguards. And this is a good thing. You guys know I have no issue providing feedback and calling out very opportunistic behaviors from the AG. I've done it multiple times. But this is a good behavior, so you're going to get accolades. Our federal election laws ensure every American citizen may vote freely and fairly, said Assistant Attorney General Harmeet Dillon of the Justice Department's Civil Rights Division. States that continue to defy federal voting laws interfere with our mission of ensuring that Americans have accurate voter lists as they go to the polls, that every vote counts equally, and that all voters have confidence in election results. At this Department of Justice, we will not stand for this open defiance of federal civil rights laws. This is the whole point. Why would you say, no, you can't make sure our voter rolls are in compliance with federal law if you're only blue states? Again, I'm not accusing anybody of doing anything, and I'm not implying that they did have or will. Not in this video. But honest to God, what would be your reasoning to where you don't want to clean up voter rolls other than something else than up and up? Like, I can't even think of a good example of why you would not want to share your voter rolls to make sure you are in compliance with basic voter protections. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense unless you leave a lot of room for interpretation. And that's a nice way to say it. All right, one more sentence or paragraph here. According to the lawsuits, the Attorney General is uniquely charged by Congress with the enforcement of the National Voter Registration Act and with the Help America Vote Act, which were designed by Congress to ensure that states have proper and effective voter registration and voter list maintenance programs. The Attorney General also has the Civil Rights Act of 1960 at her disposal to demand the production, inspection, and analysis of the statewide voter registration list. So they have to comply with two different federal statutes, and they have a previous statute that says she has the authority and the right to do it through the DOJ. Good luck, lefties! And by the way, this is all coming from the Secretary of State's offices underneath the governors of blue states. Just saying. Let's keep on going. The Hill. Here we go. These are the states. Again, this came out on the 2nd and the 3rd, so today is the 5th. So this is a couple days old, but it's important information. The Trump administration sued 6 additional states on Tuesday for voter data after launching a campaign earlier this year to retrieve election information on individuals across the country. The Justice Department filed lawsuits against Delaware, Maryland, New Mexico, Rhode Island, Vermont, and Washington for not complying with its request to produce documents that tabulate their statewide voter registration lists. Accurate voter rolls, I already showed you that. That part we don't need to do. I already read that to you. Oh, look, Mariah Carey. Must be Christmas. Despite pressure, state leaders say they are legally obligated to conceal documents with personally identifiable information such as voters' names, birth dates, addresses, and driver's license numbers or partial social security numbers. Partial social security numbers? You have to conceal identities of voter rolls so the feds can't see who is and is not a real person, and the rolls are or are not cleaned up for election integrity. You're telling me that's because of partial social security numbers, driver's license numbers, or their names? That is the weakest excuse on the planet. It's almost like it's about something else. The Attorney General's office also said she can use the Civil Rights Act at her disposal to demand the production, inspection, and analysis of the statewide voter registration list. I'll tell you what, man. This one is going to be an important one to watch. Because as we go into the 2026 midterm elections, the Democrats are salivating, thinking that they're going to win the day and kick Trump out and impeach him for 19 different things. If they clean up the voter rolls, I look forward to a very fair and free election to where the chips fall where they may. I really look forward to everyone being actively represented, not a little bit of leeway that's open for interpretation. You guys can tell me what you think about this one. This one could be massive. All right, listen, I will see you guys on the next one. I'm Braden. Later.